welcome to the You Said It Podcast with Tim B and Vontae.
Yo, it's the You Said It Podcast. It's episode 22. I'm Tim B.
Vontae, you said it, wine.
Today we got a retired police officer, Mr. Donnie Black. How you doing, Mr. Donnie Black?
I'm great.
You got any confessions?
No.
I'm gonna ask you every time.
No, you just got. If I got a confession,
you gonna say it.
We probably got about 10 episodes. Do you got a confession? No, nigga, I don't.
Okay.
Hey, look. You a retired officer, right?
Retired.
What was your rank when you retired?
I was just an officer.
Just an officer?
Yeah.
Okay. As a black man in America, what led you to want to be a police officer?
Well, to be honest with you, it was just one of those things I ended up, because when I went to Tennessee State, I majored in criminal justice, but I wanted to be like an insurance investigator. Mm-hmm. And a friend of mine that at the time when I was in college, we worked at the prison. And he came by my apartment one day and he asked me to go downtown and join the police force with him. And I told him, man, you crazy. I said, I don't want to be no police. And I went with him and they set us up for the test. I passed the test and he failed.
He failed.
So I ended up in the academy and he didn't. So I thought it was just a fate for me to go. You know, it was just something that happened, and I said, well, I just might as well go on through with it. And that's how I ended up on the force. It wasn't something I just always wanted to do. And, you know, because when I was young, I had bad experience with police. Yeah. You know, so it wasn't something I was looking to do, but I just ended up doing it. And I just said, well, this must be fate, so I ended up on the police force.
Did you enjoy your time there?
Yes, I did. I can say police department was good to me. I can say I'm not one to sit here and complain about the police department, because it opened a lot of doors for me, and I had a good life financially and and everything else. So it's been good to me.
Yeah. How many years was you doing that?
I was on 31 years. I was on the streets for 6 years, and I'd done 25 in schools.
Oh, okay.
School resources, White Creek High School.
Did you use your voice when you were a police officer? Like, did you see things happening that you didn't agree with personally?
Oh, yes.
Did you just look past it, or did you speak up?
Oh no. Police, they knew not to do anything crazy in front of me, because one thing about me, when I got on the police force, I made this my motto. I said, I'm going to treat people the way I want to be treated. If anything come across me, I can look at myself and say, man, would you want somebody to do that to you? And if I said no, I didn't do it to other people. And if anybody that knows me, that I treat people the way that I want to be treated. And it was times where I had to put hands on people. When I put hands on somebody, they needed hands put on.
You said it.
I wasn't the type of person run around looking for somebody to do something. I gave people breaks. I gave so many breaks during the time that I was police department. I could have locked up a lot of people that I didn't. Mm-hmm. So, it's just one of those things where you can make decisions and help people, and I did. I saw some things that I didn't like on the police. I saw a lot of things that I didn't like on the police force the time I was on. But, as the years went by, I saw the department change in so many ways.
Good or bad?
Some
Both.
good and some bad. Mm-hmm. But mostly, I have to say I saw a lot of good changes that taking place. Because when I came on the police department, a lot of the guys, when I first came on, was out of high school. These guys didn't have no education. They was, straight up out of high school. A lot of them local guys. But now the police department, people don't realize, most of our police department, people on the police department from out of state.
Yeah.
And
how you feel about that?
Well, it's okay. Long as they know how to treat people. It don't matter where you come from. It's just, one thing about it, you got more educated police officers now than early. And when I first came on the police department in 87, I believe. And the police officers then was not that educated as they are now. And so the more educated you are, the more you know about how to treat people. And some of those guys, when they came on, they was brute strength, bust head type guys. Pretty much
ones that been bullied didn't want to get on the floor.
Exactly.
But tell me this, Donnie, by you saying that, would you say that back then they just didn't have cameras and they was doing what they was doing these days, or what they doing these days, you call that smart?
No. What's happening now, back when I first came on, it was a whole different mentality on the police department. You could do some things, and you had, when I first came on, it was Chief Casey was the chief when I first got on. You could do things back then, and if you knew the right people, you can get it. You can get stuff kind of taken care of. They'll take care of you. You can do a lot of stuff. You can do pretty much do just about anything except, I guess, murder, and pretty much get away with it back in the day when I first came on. Mm-hmm. But now, the department is totally different. The chief we have now, Anderson, most of the officers don't like him, but I did. Chief Anderson is all right with me because he don't take no mess. He don't believe that he's not going to let these officers go out here and mistreat the public.
Right.
Because, see, one thing about people don't realize, all you have to do, especially in our black communities, we have to learn how to educate ourselves about the police department, because that's where a lot of our young black boys run into a lot of problems because they don't know the law.
Mm-hmm.
And people see on television how white guys be on TV and they get stopped by the police, and police treat them a lot different because a lot of times those guys are educated and they'll tell the police, oh, you can't do this and you can't do that, blah, blah. And once that officer know this guy's intelligent, know what's going on, he back up.
Yeah.
But see, I've been on situations where we stopped black guys in a car, reaping with, they probably got guns and stuff in the glove box. And I've seen officers say, hey man, what you got in your trunk? What you got in your, can I search your glove box? Can I search your trunk?
Absolutely not.
Yes, you go ahead and search it. And they know they got a ton of dope in there. And you raise it up, and you say to yourself, this big dummy, why he let me, because see, majority of the times when we stop you out there, we don't have time to go get search warrants and all this. And if it's nothing really pressing, we're not going to get a search warrant.
Or it got to be a probable cause, right?
You have to have a probable cause. A lot of people think, because we're the police, we can do that. No, we can't, because...
I'm glad you're saying this. Keep saying it.
Because an example is this. If we stop somebody and we don't have no probable cause to go in their trunk, okay? And they might have a dead body in the trunk. And if we illegally go in that trunk, it's going to get thrown out in court. Even though he got a dead body in that trunk.
Yeah.
We can't charge him with it because it's what you call fruit from a poisonous tree. Because we didn't go through the proper procedure to search the car, because if we done the right thing, we wouldn't have been able to get in that trunk.
Right.
So we wouldn't have known that body was in there. It sounds crazy, but that's just how the law works. But see, most people don't know that. Mm-hmm. That's why they get violated. And I tell people all the time, which I used to do when I was at White Creek, when I first got there, I used to teach a class what they call, know the law.
Yeah.
And I used to teach them that. A lot of the young people, they don't know the law. You can sit there and a lot of stuff happen to our young kids is because of ignorance. Mm-hmm. And I would strongly suggest these parents to educate your kids and let them know what can and can't happen to them, because they get jammed up in a lot of stuff because they're not educated and they don't know what's going on.
You saying ignorant? You're not just saying they're ignorant, but
ignorance of not knowing the
knowledge.
Yes. Not their ignorance, just they don't know the law.
Yes.
And you have to know the law where you can't have stuff to happen to you. And I used to stress to young people, educate yourself where things can't happen to you, because I have a son, and I used to stress to him a lot of stuff about what goes on. I was a police officer.
No, the light.
I was a police officer, but I still had kids, and I didn't want them to be mistreated also out there.
So say you in the past, you and an officer on a traffic stop.
Mm-hmm.
The officer with you, did you know that this officer is violating this person's rights? Did you say, "Nah, I'm not gonna take part in that. I'm not gonna violate this man's rights"?
It wouldn't happen with me, because most officers that knew me knew I didn't partake in that type of situation. I'm not gonna let you set somebody up. For an example, I used to work John Henry Hill back in the day when it used to be projects. John Henry Hill project. We used to get over there and chase, these young boys with drugs and guns and whatnot. And one night in particular, this officer, I'm not going to call his name, but anyway, he had a history of mistreating young blacks. And he was my backup. And we apprehended some young juveniles, and they had him handcuffed. And they ran, but we caught them. But they had the kids handcuffed, and he used to carry a bunch of keys around with him on a lanyard. Mm-hmm. And these kids was handcuffed, and he took them, and he ran him, hit them with it. And I said, hold up, what are you doing? He said, they ran. I said, I said, let me tell you something. You got handcuffs on them kid, put them in the back of that car. We're not doing this. I'm not sitting back here and let you mistreat this kid because he broke the law. Yes, but you called him, you handcuffed him, so do what we're supposed to do. I'm not going to stand back and let you beat this kid, and I'm going to just stand by and just watch you do that, because that could have been my kid. Mm-hmm. Okay? And that's one thing that kept me grounded, because when stuff like that happened, I would think about my son or my daughters, and I wouldn't want anybody to mistreat them, and I'm not going to be out here mistreating anybody else's sons or daughters.
Did you deal with racist individuals on the force?
Oh, yes. It was when I first got on, more so than the end of it, because at the beginning, I tell you something used to just wreck my mind. I'll be riding, working North Nashville. I'm riding down, listen to the radio at night. And when I first got on, we was on rotating shift, where we would work evenings, and then we'll go week evenings and midnights and days, and I hated it. But anyway, we rotated. We rotated every week, every month. We would rotate.
What you didn't like? Oh, you didn't like the rotation?
Rotation. Oh, okay. But anyway, be riding midnights. We be riding, and then some of the white officers would come on the radio and say, "Hey, it's 3 male blacks over here out in the Hillwood area. They look out of place." How you look out of place? Because you walking.
Yeah.
They look out of place. I'm like, how they let them get away with saying craziness like this on the radio? And back then they had scanners that citizens could listen to. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he's sitting there talking about they look out of place over here. I'm like, that's so racist. I mean, this man could be walking from work or anywhere. But they used to say stuff like that. And then I used to hear officers say, for instance, they'll work down in North Nashville, but when they go out in Hillwood or Green Hills, they police different than when they police in North Nashville. Right. And I used to straighten them out in a minute and tell them, I said, hey, policing is policing. And they break the law in Green Hills, it's the same as they break the law in North Nashville. Yeah. But it was always a problem with the white officers. They look, for some reason, they can't, and it always goes along with the way race and the way they was probably brought up. They can't look at black people as people. Like black officers can look at, we can treat white people, black people the same.
Yes, sir.
If they break the law out there in Green Hills, I'm gonna lock them up just like I do when I'm down in North Nashville. But some of them used to say, I police different than Green Hills than North Nashville, and that just boggles my mind. I'm like, what in the world he talking about? But that's the way some of them think, the mentality that they think. You know, they really police like that.
Did you ever think in the back of your mind, like, what do they actually think about me?
Oh, I knew what they think about me. They probably thought about me just like they thought about those people in North Nashville. Only I had a uniform on.
Yeah.
You know.
And you could punch their ass back instead of somebody else.
Exactly. And then a lot of them, I don't want to brag, but a lot of them they thought I was crazy that I ain't take no mess. I don't talk to a lot of people, you know, because I don't put up with a lot of mess. And I'm not going to be part of no mess. And like I said, the department have changed so much. Like now, say for instance, they got this oversight committee that the police, the FOP was against.
What's the FOP?
Fraternal Order Police.
Okay.
And that's mostly the white officers. And I'm in it also, but it's predominantly white in that. And the black officers got what they call the peace officers. I was in both of them.
Yeah.
But anyway.
That's good. Was other black officers in both?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, a lot of black.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty much an FOP license, you know, you can get your tags and stuff. When you travel all over the country, they see those FOP tags, kind of get me out of tickets, you know, stuff like that. But anyway, I was saying is on straight off from what I was saying
if
to
you
you.
come to it.
But what I'm saying is how things have changed now. The oversight committee, most of the black officers didn't care about the oversight committee because we just go out there and do our job. I'm not worried about somebody looking over my back because I don't feel that I'm gonna go out here and do something crazy. Because that's just how I am. So they can have oversight. I have no problem with it. And most of the black officers that I talked to at the time said they could care less.
Yeah.
But the white officers really against that oversight committee, and it's no problem for me. And that's the way it is pretty much all over the country if you sit and look. Because I have problems with a lot of these shootings that I see. I mean, some of these shootings that I've seen on television and stuff just made me sick because what I saw in those officers was fear.
Yo, you on the other side, so I could
see the fear in those officers. They shot those guys a lot of time wrongfully. Yeah, it was fear, and that's the biggest problem. And I tell, especially male blacks, they fear you. And they think a male black is always violent, and you know they can't see them as just an everyday citizen. Like I tell people all the time,
right?
90% of citizens are good people. We only deal with 10% of the population. 90% of the population never deal with the police officer. Good people. When I worked in the projects, 90% of the people lived in the project were good people. Never dealt with the police. You had 10% that we locked up and constantly, and majority of them didn't live there. So, you know, people got to look at it like that. You know, they look at blacks, all blacks. Blacks are just like anybody else. We live and want the same things as any other race. And they got to get in their head to realize that, and why they can quit treating blacks when they pull blacks over, just like pulling over a white officer. They treat them totally different, as you see when they make arrests. Like, for instance, you see when they have these mass shootings.
Yeah.
These guys don't kill 10, 15, 20 people and injured 60 or 70 more. But what y'all see them doing? They putting them
and
they're walking them
slowly
out, putting them in the cars.
They took
but
your
if
boy
it's
to
a male
Burger King.
blacks, he lucky. Most blacks, he gonna get shot or he gonna get killed. He gonna get beat up.
Come out looking
roughed
like Willie,
up.
lump.
You know, it's crazy how they treat. You know how they treat people. And a good thing I was looking at the other day was so crazy. I was looking on Facebook the other day. Something just they had this black kid. I think he had been locked up for drugs, a lot of drugs or something. they had his bond. I don't know. He had done something with drugs. They had his bond at $5 million. They had another kid was locked. He had killed one person, a black kid. He had gotten into an altercation with somebody. He had killed one body count. They had him down for $4,000, and then they had somebody else for $3,000. They had this last mass killer. He had 9 killings and 47 injured, and they had him on a $1 million bond. So something ain't right. You got the blacks up here that one of them killed one person, the other one was on drugs, one for $5 million bond, the one that killed one person was on $4 million, and then they had this white kid down there that killed 9 and injured 47, was on $1 million bond. Don't that tell you something?
Yeah, let me go back to the officers killing innocent people. Did you know Officer Andrew Delp?
The guy that they got? No, I didn't know him personally. No, I didn't know him personally.
You didn't know? You never came across him at all?
Never.
You know Andrew Delp, the Nashville officer that shot the black dude in the back 3 times?
Joe Johnson.
Oh, Joe Johnson?
Yeah, out there with
Yeah, that was running.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing jury duty when they was doing that.
I saw that, and then my opinion on that, when I saw that was, to me, that was murder.
Yeah, he got charged.
Oh, he did?
But I knew he was going to get charged.
Yeah.
Because for one thing, like I said, how the department have changed. Now under Anderson's not going to cover up. If you do something wrong, you're going to answer to what wrong you have done. And that's why a lot of the white officers do not care for Anderson, because they know he's straight up and he's not going to, those days of, I'm going to take care of you because you white boy, white officer, those days is over with. And citizens need to realize, if something happened to you out here on the street, if an officer pull you over and he cursed you or he talked to you in a way that you feel uncomfortable, all you have to do is make a call. You either call the precinct captain or sergeant or the precinct he's coming from, or you can call down to the chief officers and issue your complaint. And believe me, it's going to be investigated.
Do you think the police are a gang of their own?
No, that's a myth about a gang. Most of us don't even know each other. If we don't even work in the same precinct, a lot of us don't even, a lot of people think police, we all know each other. Like y'all asked me about Delta, I never met the guy. Because most officers work in different precincts.
Yeah.
And like, for instance, I work north most of the time, and I wouldn't know a lot of the guys down south or west or east or Madison.
Yeah.
We just don't cross. We might meet working extra jobs or something like that, but other than that, no.
It's an off-the-wall question. Do y'all have a yearly physical test?
What you mean, a physical?
Yeah.
Do we have
like a physical test?
Yes.
At the end of the year, every year, annually?
Yes.
Why are the police officers so fat then?
It's because, now when I first came on, you couldn't be fat. They would give you days first, and then they would give you a certain period of time to lose weight. And then if you didn't lose weight, they'll start giving you days, suspending you. And then after that, they could fire you. But it was a lawsuit. See, these lawsuits change a lot of things.
You can't call me fat.
They sued. So the department changed where they couldn't fire him. They could talk to him about, getting physically fit, but they can't fire him.
I done seen some sloppy ones.
Big boys.
Yeah,
sloppy
I mean,
ones.
that used to embarrass me. Some of them look so. I'm like, a lot of people ask me like, how can he can't, like. If I was on a call, I wouldn't want him to back me up, because if I have to run, he ain't gonna back up run. So
I will walk away from some of the motherfuckers I see.
Yeah, it was
fuck run. I will walk away from them.
Yeah, it's a thing where a lawsuit came about, and they trying to change it. They trying to get it changed why they can get more fit, make them be more fit now. But it was a lawsuit to change that. It used to be where you had to be a certain weight and everything. You had to stay fit.
Tell me about these police dogs. I done had my car I'm gonna say illegally searched 3 times because the dog hit on something. I ain't never done a drug in my
you
life.
said that. That was crazy.
I ain't never done a drug in my life. I ain't never sold a drug in my life.
Well,
I don't have drugs on me but for some reason the dog hit on the car.
Well, most time it depends. Now, grant you, I don't know. I wasn't there, and I don't know, but I'm quite sure.
What my question is to you?
If they want to search your car,
they gonna just say the dog hit on it
they can say that
without it being true.
it can, but they can get caught up in a catch-22 on that, because if it goes to court and they have to really prove to the fact that that happened, then they can get fired. Because one thing about a department, you can do an act that people can look at as wrong, but one thing you can't do is lie about it. You can get fired quick on the police department for lying than doing an act. It's what they call a truthfulness. They made it where if they catch you lying, they're going to fire you. There ain't no if and buts about it. You're going to get fired. So if you done something, you got to admit to it, and you may get away with some days or whatnot, but if they catch you lying, you're going to get fired. That's one thing about it. They do not put up with a liar. If you lie, you're in trouble.
And who gonna determine if they lied? Another officer or like body cameras?
No, they investigate you. See, people don't realize, they think, oh man, they just ain't gonna do nothing but sweep it under the rug. Man, our internal affairs investigators are so tough. Now, we look at them as enemy.
Yeah.
I mean, most officers don't care for internal affairs, because those guys come after you, they come after you. They ain't looking to sweep nothing under the rug.
Yeah.
They investigate you. If you done something wrong, they gonna get you, and you gonna get fired. So that's one thing about it. See, a lot of people think about like TV, how they look at TV. That's the biggest thing society get caught up in. Don't look at departments from television. It doesn't work nothing like TV. It's totally different. And believe me, especially, and it depends on the higher up to, like your chief. He set the standards for your department. And our chief has set a standard where it's no nonsense, man. It ain't no, he don't take no mess. And them boys know that they will get fired if they go out here and smack somebody around. And that person have enough to know that, I'm going to complain about this. If they find out that you touch somebody up like that, you going to get fired, or you going to get some days that you close to getting fired. That's why I said that's why you don't hear here in Tennessee about a whole lot of brutality and a lot of, because those officers know that if they get caught, they're going to get fired. And in other states where the top, like the chief, put up with that. Here, believe me, this chief do not put up with no nonsense.
That's crazy that he say that, because
it's not gonna happen.
You don't really see that type of shit.
You're not gonna see that here a lot. You're not gonna see
oiled
that.
up. You know what I mean?
You gonna get, because if you oil somebody up, you gonna get oiled up, because that chief is gonna fire you. If he find out that y'all whooped somebody, like when I first came on. Now, like I told you, when under Chief Casey, you could touch somebody up, and you can get taken care of back then. But now, you mistreat, you can't cuss. Like, for instance, you could, back when I first came in, you could curse at people. Get your ass out of this car. Get your so-and-so this, that, and other. They catch you saying that, person right now, you in trouble. I'm telling you, you're in trouble. People don't realize it. They can't cuss. We can't cuss at citizens like that. You come here, you.
Cause the police, y'all are servants.
Exactly.
Y'all do what we say. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can't. Exactly.
We work for the citizens, pretty much. And people don't realize that we're there for you. We're here trying to protect you and to help you. But see, like I said, the more educated the police department have become, they start to realize that.
Yeah.
And like I said, what the white officers having problems that they still looking at you as a black person. So, they're going to always look at you here.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And they're going to look down at you. But the black officers, we've been there.
Yeah.
So we know we all here. And that's why that's why if you look around the country, how many black officers have you seen kill somebody wrongfully? Think about it. Look around the country, all the shootings.
I haven't seen it as far as what I look on World Star.
Now, won't that tell you something? Something's wrong out of all the black officers in the country. Why aren't they killing somebody illegally?
On TV and they showing their picture like that.
Yeah, why aren't they doing these kind of terrible things to people? We're police just like the other officers are. It's the mindset. Mm-hmm. When you look at somebody and you don't respect that person and you don't look at him as being a human being, so you'll do things to that person. You see what I'm saying? But I look at you as a brother. I know when I was I've had officers spit on me and call me the N-word when I was young coming up. I had that happen to me. And I know how I felt then.
Hey, that's why I say my first question was, as a black man in America, how could you even put yourself in that position to be a cop? It ain't no way.
The thing about it though,
we have to be
inside to know what's happening. Because if you let them get their own,
then it's over.
You're really in trouble.
I feel like the couple who's inside, they ain't putting no pressure on them.
No, it ain't.
They ain't putting no pressure on them to make a change in.
A lot of times, because the ones are in there, they can't do the stuff that they used to get away with. Because, like I said, when I was there, I wasn't putting up with no craziness. I'm not gonna let you mistreat somebody because that's not me. And I'm not gonna sit by with you and go along with you and sit there because we the police, and so we're gonna go out here and just kick butt and do it. No, it ain't happening. We ain't going out there in Green Hills and kick butt. So why are you coming over here in North Nashville and kick butt? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So no, it ain't happening. But and you got to have blacks.
You got to be inside.
And see, let me tell you something else. What turn your head. Nashville, when I came on in '87, we had about 120 something blacks on the police force. 31 years ago. Now 32 because I retired last year. 32 years ago. We had 120 something blacks on the police force. Today, 32 years later, we might have 90 blacks on our police force. And what that tell you, over 32 years, we have less black officers than we did back in '87 when we had 120 something blacks. Now we got about 90 blacks on the force. And right now today, our department, we're about 200 officers short. Nashville is growing at an alarming rate at 100 people a day are moving in Nashville. And people will be absolutely scared to death if they knew what goes on in one single day and how we don't have enough officers to cover. See, everybody think when something happened in your house, you think, why the police ain't here? You want me to tell you why? What people don't realize? Say, for instance, the shift, say South Nashville. We go in at the South Precinct. On a shift, we might have 15 officers working the shift, sergeant, whatever. We might have 15 officers, say, for instance. And what we do, we cover zones. And say, for instance, my zone is here. And what I'll cover in this zone, for instance, I might cover all of Hickory Hollow over to, say, Murfreesboro Road, on down toward Mount Zion, on back over towards Noblesville Road. One officer.
One.
That's my zone. Then you have somebody else might cover those other areas, and you have, say for instance, when I first came on, I'd worked a shift where we had 5 officers working the whole detail. 5 working, 1 in each area. Okay? 5 to cover, and people don't realize that. And see, I was running from, my zone was John Henry Hill, because I like working in my area. I worked John Henry Hill and all that.
Yeah.
I was answering calls from Johnny Hill all the way to Bellevue. Now, can you imagine you need the police? I'm down here on Joe Johnson, then I'm gonna have to go all the way out there in Bellevue and answer a call. But as time went on, we get a little more officers. But it's still, people think police is all over the place. It's not. We work areas like South Nashville. You might have 10 officers working here in this area at night. 10. And then you have some working central area. And then Midtown and West Nashville. And then Madison. We work an area. You see an officer, he might be from Midtown, he's not going to answer a call in North Nashville. That's not his zone. He can't answer no call.
He can't or he won't?
He can't.
Okay.
Only way he can deal with something, if he sees something with his eyes that happened, he can go. But as far as a call come over the air and a dispatcher, not going to dispatch me to a call over there. I'm a central officer. I'm not going to go out East Nashville and answer no call. And then we might have 10 officers in East Nashville that's working. East Nashville area.
I need the whole damn precinct.
We might have, but I'm just saying, we might have 10 officers, right?
Around the clock.
But what you don't realize, those 10 officers that you have, you might have 2 working recs at this time. You might have 2 working doing reports, and reports come in all the time. And you might have somebody going on a mental patient, and that'll take hours. Now you got all your officers tied up on calls, reports, accidents, and there's nobody else called. Sometimes they have to call somebody from another precinct to come over out south to answer a call, especially if it's an emergency. Like, we can be working where everybody out south is tied up. They'll call the North Nashville, say, car so-and-so, they'll break in on our air and say, look, we got a 53, it's a shooting, a robbery going on. We need to pull you to come out here. So I got to drive from North Nashville all the way out South Nashville to back up a car or answer a call. And see, that's why you don't have that. Why the police at when you need them? They tied up. They doing this. They doing. It's not like we got 100 or 200 officers working.
In one area.
We don't do that. You might have 10 working South Nashville, and then you got. You'd be surprised the burglary call here, and that's why they prioritize. That's when you ever heard of somebody say, man, I've been waiting 5 hours for this police to come and do this report on this. Because
it's other shit that's important.
Other stuff is important.
And that right
and everything's important get pushed in front of you, and yours get pushed down. That's when you can say somebody broke in your car. You might work here, might sit here for 5 or 6 hours for me to get here, and then when I get here, you be mad as a hornet. Why it take you so long, so? I don't answer about 10 calls since you called that in.
Is there anything that you done that you wish you could redo as an officer?
Anything?
Think about it, Black.
That I had done, that I want to redo?
Yeah, say you had done something that you didn't feel was right, that you would want to redo or maybe apologize to that person about something.
No, I never, like I said, I never was that type of person that mistreated people. I've never mistreated anybody. Like I said, when I had to do something to a kid, or, they deserved it. They get to that point where I can't talk. Because the majority of my time, I'm going to talk to you.
Like deserve what?
If I had to put my hands on you and kind of manhandle because you're trying to fight me, I'm not going to sit there and let you do something to me.
Exactly.
I'm not going to put my hands on anybody unless it's at that point where we don't talk about it, and we don't, everything I can do to keep from getting to that point. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That I have to use force. See, I didn't have to use much force because I could talk to people and get them to do pretty much what I want to do. Right. And then plus I was a big guy. So a lot of guys wouldn't try me. A lot of guys said, man, you kind of big. I ain't going to do this. Yeah, no. I ain't going to fight you. But the little officer had to fight a lot because guys didn't care. People don't realize people fight you in a minute. So, it's crazy out there. People don't know what we have to deal with.
Do you get nervous when a cop car's behind you?
Pull behind me?
Yeah. Do you get nervous?
Yeah.
You see how bad? You see that's bad.
But
even as a police officer,
it's not that. It's just it's a mindset that people just do. Anytime a police pull behind you,
because the police fucked up.
Some of them,
not all of them.
Not all of them.
Tim's, don't be on their side. And I know all of them are not fucked up, but the majority.
No, if the majority was messed up, boy, you wouldn't know. We'd be in a world of trouble out here. I'm telling you.
You want to get in? You get in that profession?
No.
But the thing is this: you got.
I'm saying I wouldn't do it, but
somebody had to do it. But just think, okay, but just tell me this.
If that was something I could do, yes, I would do it.
Just think if nobody done that, what you think this world would do? If nobody be the police, what you think society would be? Your girlfriend or wife couldn't be safe to walk down the street. You couldn't leave the house with your kids and your family here because you got some people out here will go buck wild in this country if it wasn't for the police. Police were keeping things sane.
That's true. That is very true. But that don't mean they're doing a good job at what their profession is.
But see what the thing about what you think about. See, you said the police. It's a handful of those police that's making the majority look bad. But I'm gonna tell you, majority of the police on our police force, are good officers.
You believe that, Tim?
But see, if you hadn't dealt with a lot of police
on Blue Hole Road pulled a gun out on me.
Did you complain about that?
No.
See, what did he pull a gun on you for?
He pulled me over. I forgot what for, but I think I went ahead and told him I had a gun permit.
Okay.
And as soon as I told him where the gun was, he upped on me. Like, for what?
Okay, what did he say that? Why did he pull a gun on you like that for?
Because I told him I have a gun in the car. I'm a licensed carrier. I have a gun in the car.
See, you should have called. See, that's what I'm saying. Educate yourself.
Yes.
You should have called in on that officer. He should have never called. A white guy that told him he had a gun in the car, I bet you he wouldn't have pulled the gun on him. Mm-hmm. Because I told you, Tim, for number one, especially white officers, they fear you. Because all the rubbish that they put out about black people over the years and how bad blacks are, they're afraid of you. I'm telling you, they're afraid. But see, I didn't have to do that because I wasn't scared of you. Mm-hmm. If I pulled you over and you want to buck tough or whatever, we gonna get out there and we're gonna fight. I'm not gonna pull my gun because I'm gonna beat your butt.
So you understand why I feel the way I feel about cops, because the cops feel that way about the black people. What you just said.
Some do. Well, that's what I'm saying.
But that goes back to what I just said. I think we were talking about this before the camera when I approached them three at Opry Mills. Mm-hmm. How two of them was just like, but that one spoke to me. So it's just
that's a bad ratio.
But you speaking on what? On your personal experiences, am I right?
Mm-hmm. And on other people's experiences.
Okay. But what were they doing to for this to happen to them?
Me getting pulled over.
For what?
And car illegally searched for no reason.
Okay.
Three different occasions.
Okay. But did you do anything about that?
I was a young black man. Okay. I was young.
Exactly what I'm saying. But you see what I'm saying?
21 years old.
But that's what I'm saying.
But
if you don't know,
they getting over.
Okay, but who?
They knew they can get away with that with me at that time.
What nationality was the officers that pulled you over?
White.
White officers?
Yeah, white officers.
Okay. That's because they look at you as a young male black, especially probably say, you don't know, you're not educated about the law, so I can do this to you. Mm-hmm. That's why they probably done that.
And that's bad.
But that's what I know that. But see,
you got good time too, don't you?
Huh? I mean, hell no.
Based off what you said, so you wouldn't even like approach or speak to an officer then? Is that what you're saying?
I can't say I went in today's I would probably say what's up to an officer, depending on how I feel at the time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But back then, I ain't talking to no police. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I'm a law-abiding citizen. Mm-hmm. Don't sell drugs, don't do drugs. Mm-hmm. Ain't never really been in no illegal shit. And ain't
some of your opinion is from what you see going on in the world today on how you feel about police officers, about people getting killed?
It goes back from since I was a little kid.
Okay, but I'm just saying, some experiences that you saw at that time? you going off some experiences that you saw at the time.
Yeah. I'm going off experience.
Okay.
And what I see, yeah.
What you see.
I don't see too much good from police officers.
Okay.
I see more bad than good.
Okay.
And they putting a lot of the bad out there too. They ain't putting
but the thing is, see,
on top
like
of
I said, your opinion is probably on a handful of officers. Like I said, majority of the officers ain't gonna do no crazy, especially today's time. I don't know when you were young or whatever thing, but I'm telling you, all you have to do today is know your rights. If somebody pulled a gun on you, like you said, you should have called the chief officer and said, hey, this officer put a gun on me. That officer would have to explain, articulate why he pulled that gun. Mm-hmm. If he said, I pulled my gun out on him because he said he's a licensed carrier and he got a permit to carry, he'd be in so much trouble. He can't pull no gun on you because you tell me a lie and I got a gun in the car. I'll tell you what I had happened to me. I pulled a young male black over about 3 years ago on Jefferson Street. Put him over. He had two 9mm in his, and I don't know how he had it, sitting in his car in some kind of little thing. He had him there. I pulled him over. He let the window down, and I'm looking at these two guns. He had my heart like, doo, 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 doo. But I knew first thing I do, this guy might have a permit. I said, hey, you got permit to carry those guns? He said, yeah. Yes, sir. He pulled out his carrying permit, so on and so forth. I checked it. I said, okay. Now what you need? He said, he getting some directions. No, I pulled him over because he didn't do his blink or something. Mm-hmm. And I asked him, I said, hey, you know you made a legal turn. He said, so I wasn't thinking, so on and so forth. In his demeanor, I didn't write him a ticket because he was nice. Yeah. He said, also, my mind was on something else, I'm sorry, so on and so on. I'm looking at these guns, but he was looking, I said, okay, you have a good day. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? I didn't pull my gun out because this guy had 2 9mm. Because white guys walk around with guns on them every day. They'll walk around with AR-15s over their shoulders.
With a Confederate flag.
And walk around.
Hey, out of 10 officers, what's the ratio on good to bad?
4.
4 good?
I would say 4.
4 good?
Yeah.
I'll say
6 bad?
I'll say out of 10 officers, I'll say maybe 2, maybe 3, 2 may be bad. 8 for the good. I'm telling you.
That's fine.
I'm telling you. I'm just telling you from experience. Yeah. And I've worked with some guys and I see what they do.
But
I know some of the stuff.
But then again, you ain't really going through those experiences.
I've been there.
That me and Tim go through.
But you forgot I was young too.
All you gotta do, you got it on your license plate.
No, but I'm telling
Retired
you,
police officer. You know what I'm saying?
He talking about
when you get
before. I'm talking about before when I was what age you was talking about? When I was your age, I wasn't the police. You know, let me tell you something. You know how many times I was locked up before I became a police officer? I was locked up about 3 times. They locked me up for. Back then, they used to lock you up for tickets. I didn't pay a ticket. They locked me up because I ain't paid my ticket. Yeah. So I had to go to jail. 2 other times, they locked me up for pistol. I had illegal pistol. Okay? One time, a friend of mine and I, we had went over to a party over there in Buena Vista Minor. Guys pulled guns on us. We was finna get into a fight, and they pulled guns on us and everything. And then my partner told me, he said, I ain't gonna never get caught like this no more. He went and bought a gun. We went to a party, and he said, man, I'm not finna go home right now. I'm gonna go so-and-so. Can you take my pistol home? He gave it to me. I stuck it in my back pocket, not thinking. I'm riding, going home. Then I stopped over there on Gallatin Road at the Crystals. You know, you used to sit on the corner of Cahale and Gallatin Road right there at Crystals. You used to sit there. Mm-hmm. I walked in there to order me some food. Kind of had that gun in my pocket. And these folks don't call the police on me. And I knew it would take them a long time to get my food ready. I'm standing there, and then next thing you know, the police come in.
I went to jail like that at McDonald's.
And they say, hey, partner, what you got in your pocket? And I'm like, oh, God, I got locked up for a gun then. Then the second time I got locked up for a gun, I had it up under, I was in college, and I had it up under my seat, way back up under my seat. And me and this girl from Memphis I used to date, we was going to my apartment. I lived at East Nashville. They pulled me over. Said I was speeding. But the key to that, I was educated. I was in college, and I was in criminal justice. And I knew what they can and can't do. And I know they can't illegally search my car because he told me, I asked him precisely, I said, sir, what you stopped me for? He said, you were speeding. I said, sir, it's raining like crazy out here. I wasn't speeding, but if you say so, okay. So he was getting ready to write me a ticket with a white officer and a black officer. He came back to my thing, he told the girl I was with, he said, where the drugs at? And she said, the drugs? We don't, not in smoking weed. And he said, you know you got drugs in this car. This the black officer.
Piece
No,
of shit.
I said, you wrong, I ain't. So they illegally searched my car. And they kept searching. Then the white officer, matter of fact, told us, come on, man, he ain't got nothing, let's give him the ticket and go. He said, no, they got something in here. The black officer said, they got something in here. And the white guy was trying to get him to come on, but he went back the second time and reached way back under my seat and found a gun. And I told him from that, right then, I said, man, you know what? I said, this ain't going nowhere. I said, I see you in court. Went to court and beat it. And I laughed at him on out the courtroom. And then what's so funny about it, I ended up working with this same black guy that illegally searched my car.
He was still on that Uncle Ruckus shit when you got done. You know Uncle Ruckus?
Goddamn.
But you know what got it? He got fired too. He didn't last long. It caught up with him. They fired his butt. The same one that illegally searched my car and mistreated me, it caught up with him. They ended up firing him.
What's one of your worst stories about the victim or on the police force, like a worst experience on the force?
Well, I had several. I had words. One time we went over in John Henry Hill on the calls, and they were kind of had a little riot thing came when some guys was hid back up in the project. When we came up, they started shooting at us and had us kind of pinned down over there at one time. I had that happen to me. And the worst thing that ever happened is when two little boys fell off the Bordeaux Bridge over there. Off the
Martin Luther King?
No, it's the
one
other
that
little bridge. It used to swing open and close, but they keep it open there when boats used to come through there. They were playing up there.
Over there in the hood, like back in the back.
The kids jumped off there, and it took them like 3-4 days to find them, and they gave me the call. When I got there, they pulled them out. And, you know, kids just do something to me. It's something about kids. You know, I've seen people stick shotguns in their mouth and blow the whole top of the head out. I had to, you know, I seen that. Some shit? Yes, okay. I got a call where I walked in. Ain't nothing on up here but just neck. Where they don't blew their whole head off. You know, I've been in the homes where people, they've been looking for them. They hadn't been seen in weeks, and I have checked the welfare call. Then you smell and you hear flies inside. Zzz, so we had to get the sergeant over, kick the door in, go in and check on the person. We go in, that person laying there and he don't bust it wide open. Ain't nothing but maggots and stuff is coming out of his stuff. You know, you see all kinds of stuff, man. You know, see, people don't know what we deal with. See, that's why a lot of police officers don't live long after they finish, because the stress level that they have to deal with on a daily basis. And every time you pull a person over, you don't know if you're going to get your brains blown out. See, people think it's cool. Mm-hmm. Worst thing I used to hate to do was pull people over, because you never know what you're going to deal with. I was chasing, a good example one night, it was 5 male blacks in a car. They had just pistol whipped a woman and took her car. And it was getting ready, time to go off. And I was there at 18th and Jefferson. Never forget. I looked up, and there's the car. They had been putting it out. I said, I got this carjacking car right in front of me. So they said, I said, is anybody close? Wasn't nobody close to me. So they said follow it until somebody get. I'm following them through the hood. They were going all over there by Pearl Cone, all down off in there. Then they jumped up on the interstate, and then some cars finally caught up, and we gave chase. We caught them out south from there on 4th and 2nd Avenue right there, near, what's that major street there?
Charles Davis?
The main street, when you come out of Charles Davis right there. Murfreesboro Road, and then it changes to Lafayette.
Okay, yeah.
We got them right there around 4th. And once we got them out, the kid, you know what the kid told me? He said, officer, don't you know when you was behind us? I said, yeah. And what we were doing in the car, and it was just tripped me out. He said, we were deciding on which one of us was going to kill you when you walked to the car. You know, that's a heck of a feeling when a kid sit and tell you they were trying to decide on which one of them was going to shoot me when I come to the car. But from my training, taught me not to pull them over. I never did do my lights to pull them over. I just followed them and kept at a distance. But if I'd have pulled them over, they was going to shoot me. So I could be dead now, you know. So there's been a lot of instances where I could have been killed. You know, I chase kids and catch them, and they got a 44 Magnum stuffed in their britches. You know, it's just a lot of times, you know, police didn't do a lot of stuff. Most people can't do that job because it ain't no walk in the park because it's always danger every day. Anytime you go on a call, you got to walk up to a house. Just think if you get a call on domestic and this man shot his old lady and we got to come in that house. And they said, a lot of people said they hate the police, but who gonna come in that house for you? You gonna come in that house, you know, the old man in there with a gun shot his old lady, got the kids kidnapped. I am. I'm coming in there. And I don't even know you. But I'm coming in that house to get that man who got those kids kidnapped, who shot that lady. You understand? See, a lot of people don't know what we do. We do a lot of stuff that most people won't even dream of doing.
You know how you say you have fear of being killed when you making a traffic stop? You know what I'm saying? Black man in America might have that same feeling every time they get pulled over by a police officer.
Not necessarily.
So they might feel the same thing you feel.
Well, they might do, but what I'm saying, just think if we didn't have that job to pull over people that's out here committing crime and murder and whatnot. You know, what kind of society do you think you're in?
I don't really get into the what ifs though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's just how life is. Life's like that. Life just can't be cut and dry like you might want it because, like for instance, I'm not on the police force now. And I know what to do. If the police officers pull me over, I'm going to keep my hands up here because I know what they're thinking and what's going through their mind. And when I let my window down, yes, sir, where you stop me, sir? What you need? So. Do you have a gun in the car? Yes, I do. Yeah, I have one right there. It's under my glove box, so. Okay. And then I know if they do something wrong, they ain't got no business doing, I got them because I know what they can do and what they can't do. So I'm going to keep my hands and do what I need to do because I know I don't want to stop somebody and he's fumbling around like this. I've had them. I'm pulling up talking to them and they up under their seats, and then once I finally get them, they got a pistol laying up under there. See, you just don't know what they have to endure. They have to endure a whole lot of craziness. You walk in houses, and I've been in a house where the man whooped his old lady, both her eyes black, a nose looked like it's been disfigured, and I get there to get him and start to help her, and next thing I know, she's on my back beating me, telling me don't lock my man up. And they don't come. I'm sitting there, and she beat me all in the back of my head, and I'm like, what's going on? I'm trying to help her, and she's now fighting me to help him, and he don't beat her head to death. Yeah. That's the kind of stuff we have to deal with. You know, we have to deal with a whole lot of people. Average citizens just don't know what an officer have to do. That's the reason a lot of marriages doesn't work, because after dealing with everybody else's problem all day, then you go home, you ain't got time for your problem because you've been dealing with everybody else's, because when you call me, it's always a problem. It ain't nothing good. It's gonna be something bad when you call me.
Are you married?
Yes.
Okay.
So when you call me, it's gonna be something bad.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, and you got that fear, but what it's what it's called, it's a control fear. You have to have, you know, if a police ever tell you I ain't never scared, he's a dangerous person. Because if you don't have no fear, you go into this house, they're telling you, you know, go to such house, a domestic, he don't shot his old lady and so. You got to go in that house, and you know he don't kill his old lady, don't kill his children. So what he thinking about you? He ain't thinking about you. He gonna kill you too. So you got to go in there. You scared, but you got to be under control.
Yeah.
You know, but if you just scared, I've seen them. I've locked up. I don't know if y'all know McQuitty.
Yeah.
Down McQuitty, down on Jefferson Street.
Yeah.
And y'all heard of McQuitty City. Those his sons.
Yeah.
Okay, had McQuitty City down there. Okay, I had to go lock up the daddy for murder.
Oh.
He had killed a lady out South Nashville. So they called me.
McQuitty boys.
Yeah, they called me. I tell you a story about the McQuitty boys. But anyway, off the camera.
Okay.
But anyway, we went to lock the father up, and I had this white officer with me, and he was so scared. Well, he shook. I mean, he was shaking. He was literally just shaking. And McQuitty, you know, he was a killer. I'm like, he gonna get everybody killed. Here, you the police.
We seeing you shaking
and you
already.
shaking like this.
We got him. We got him.
He just shaking. And after that call, I went back to my sergeant. I said, look, y'all got to move him out of there. He can't work with me no more. He gonna get me killed. And the next day, the sergeant moved him out in Bellevue, where he needed to be. Where he can answer house alarms and stuff like that.
My cat is in the tree.
Yeah.
Come and get him.
I get pulled off. I'm talking dirty to a cop now and in Bellevue and what was it, Green Hill? You a hoe ass cop. That's why you got your pussy ass down here.
Don't do that.
Hey, freedom of speech. You hear it?
You can.
That's
do
my
that,
amendment.
What I'm saying, but what I'm saying, you won't have any. What people need to understand. The best way to deal with the police when they pull you over, be polite. Just yes sir, no
That's
sir.
That's what I wanted to end this with. Yeah.
Yes.
How you, yeah.
All you have to do, because like for instance me, if I pulled you over and you let your window down and you start talking, why the fuck you pulling me over? Ain't you got something better to do? Oh man, I'm gonna look for everything I can
Yeah, we gonna
to lock
answer you.
your butt up.
It's only,
with your
that's just
ticket.
common sense. That's what I tell people all the time, man.
If I pulled you over and you let that window down and you
respectfully,
say, yes sir, also what you doing? Oh, I know, I'm sorry. So look at man, what's the rush? Oh man, I'm trying to get to work. I'm trying to. Okay then, partner, just slow it down. That's what happened. I didn't write very few tickets. See, people think we had quotas. We didn't have no quota. Man, I went a year and didn't write a ticket. So that's a myth that police got to write quotas and all that. We don't get no money for writing tickets and all that. That's paid for the judges, retirement, get that. Not us. We don't have no quotas. So that's a myth. And that's the last thing I want to do is go to court. I hate court. So if you be polite, and yes sir, no sir, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna get out of whatever he stopped you for. He's gonna let you go.
Well, look, Donnie, you got some report. I got one thing I'm gonna ask you. Then I want you to speak on something.
Okay.
I do 3 hot topics, but I only had one. If a black man had a gun for protection in an area that was high in crime, but didn't have a permit, would you take him to jail or just take his gun, being that he was in that environment?
Well, if he had a gun on him in a high crime area, would I take him to jail? Most likely, I would have to take him to jail. And the reason that is, if I let him go and he kills somebody, that same person that I stopped and he had that gun, and he walk over and he shoot you with that gun, your girlfriend or your wife or whatever is gonna sue me because, number one, if I'd have done my job, he wouldn't be able to come and shoot you with that gun if I'd done what I was supposed to do.
Right.
But if I sit there and say, man, go on, man, be cool, and then he come over here and shoot you, and then you find out, man, that officer had that dude.
He had the opportunity to
lock him up, but he didn't. I'm going to get fired and I'm going to get sued. So you got to do your job. But it is situations where you can give people breaks.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
on some other shit.
On some smaller issues.
Yeah.
But some of that nature, no, you can't risk. You risk your job, you risk other people getting hurt, and so on and so forth.
Okay, now, the last thing, how you said, like in my situation, how they pulled the gun on me. I want you to tell the people how they can, if you get a hold and speak about something like that.
If a police officer do anything to you that you feel that was unlawful or uncalled for, all you have to do, either call the precinct, get over to the precinct captain or commander at that precinct. You can look at the officer's badge, get his badge number, or we always have our names on the uniform. You can get his name. Mm-hmm. Or you can look at his police car and get that number on that police car, and that identifies the officer that drives that car. Right. But I guarantee you, if you call in and report that it's going to be investigated, and it's not going to get washed up under the rug like you think it's going to be investigated. I'm telling you, they investigate the littlest thing. I mean, I got investigated because a lady felt that I spoke to her in a tone that she felt that was unlikely, and I didn't understand, but I had to go through all kind of paperwork. I had to write out a supplement, what I said, what I done, and it does get investigated. And that's the biggest problem, that you don't report whatever you feel that officer have done to you. Report it. Go to the people, just like the white man. He will go and report anything that he feels that's unjust to him, he report it. Black people have to change our mindset and don't think about, that's the police. No, you're wrong. This police department do not put up with wrongdoing. If you report it, they will be investigated and it will get taken care of. I promise you that. All
right. It's episode 22. We got Officer Donnie Black in here. I'm Tim B.
Vontae, you said it one.
Appreciate you for coming, my man.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, Doc. All right, man.